everyone, it's Elizabeth from Fern Stickers, and in this video I'm going to show you how to print and cut stickers using files from the Fern Creek Printables shop to make your own planner stickers at home. So the first thing we need to do is get ready to print. If this is your first time going in and doing one of my print files, I'm going to show you a setting that you may not have changed before. Once you do it once, it should stay changed. If you ever see a decline in your print quality, you might want to go back and check that it is still checked, but this will really improve the quality of the prints that you get from Silhouette Studio. You want to go to Edit, Preferences, and here where it gives print resolution, you want to check 1200 dpi and then click OK. So that's a one-time thing that you'll want to do. The next thing you're going to do is send this to your printer. So you're going to go to File, Print. It will give you a print preview, and you'll notice that the cut lines are not visible here. You're going to click Print, then choose your printer. So I've got my printer selected. I just want one copy of it. Then you're going to want to check the print settings, and the exact print settings will vary depending on what printer you have, and how they're laid out will vary depending on whether you're using a Mac or a PC and what kind of printer you have. But in general, you want to make the quality be the best that it can be. And for the paper type, you want to select something, in this case I'm using matte paper, so specialty paper matte works well. If you're using glossy paper, you'd want to pick something like specialty paper glossy, because the printer does put out a different amount of ink whether you're using matte or glossy paper. So you want to choose whatever you feel like is closest to the sticker paper that you're using, and then we'll go ahead and hit the print button. Silhouette Studio does take a minute to process, and if you have an older computer, it might take a little bit longer, but hang in there because it will print. So now that we have our sheet printed out, the next step is to put it on your cutting mat, and which is a little hard to see on the camera here, but you're going to want to put the sheet so that the top corner where this square is in the top corner here by where the 1 and the 1 are, and you'll want to firmly press it down. So you're going to want to firmly press your sticker sheet onto your mat. If your mat is getting a little bit less sticky, you can use washi tape or masking tape to hold the sheet on. You will notice that as the mat gets less and less sticky, the cut quality will probably degrade as the sheet moves around more, but you can get away with taping it down for at least a little bit as it nears the end of its life. So I'm going to load it into the machine. You'll want to align the left side of the mat with the guide here. It varies a little bit by specific Silhouette model exactly what the guide looks like. Push the button to insert the mat. You want to make sure that it goes in straight. Now on the computer, you are going to go to Send. And the key here is that you want to make sure you're cutting by line color. So my computer defaults to bringing line color up, but a lot of people, it might default to just bringing up standard. So you want to make sure that you've come over here to this circle and square that are intersecting, but not the filled in ones. And you're going to want to make sure that both the magenta and the blue are checked to be on. And then you're going to choose what cut setting you want. Now, I know a lot of people are going to ask me what cut settings to use, but the answer is it really varies tremendously. If you're using online labels paper, they have a really good guide on their website with suggested cut settings, and I think that's a really good starting point to use. But the thing is, what settings you use varies so much on how old your mat is, how old your blade is, what paper you're using. And like even for me, one thing I tend to do to extend the life of my blade, as my blade gets older, I increase the force and the depth to be able to get more cutting out of an older blade. So I'm even adjusting my settings as I go. So it's hard to give you definite settings, but if you haven't made stickers before, you'll want to play around a little bit first with your settings. There is a test cut button that you can use if you just want to test your settings. But you can also too, one idea is because the test cut it does in your upper left hand corner every time. So instead of that, you might want to just like make a square, have it cut out a square. If you don't like the settings, make a square on another part of the paper, and you can just keep running the same sheet of paper through over and over again until you find the settings you like, and then you're able to save the settings. We set up the cut files so that they default to these materials that are presets in Silhouette, but I'm going to go ahead and change these to the settings that I like to use, that are custom settings. And also, just to be sure, I have on the Cameo there are 2 slots for tools, and I have tool 1 selected for both of them. So again, I'm cutting by line. I have both of these selected. And the other thing too, it should default to this, but you want to make sure the pink is on top of the blue. If it's not, you can just drag and drop to make them in the right order. So now at this point, I'm going to hit the send button. So now we have our finished sticker sheet, and you can push the eject button, then take it off the mat. I find it best to flip the mat upside down and then peel the sheet, the sticker sheet itself off rather than the sort of border that's around it. We can take the border off in a minute. And voila, there is our finished sticker sheet. So you can see how it turned out. So those are all the steps you need to print and cut from a Fern Creek stickers file using your silhouette. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments or send me an email at ferncreekstickers@gmail.com.